Intro hook. It was a chilly autumn afternoon when Emma, a quiet 16-year-old, was walking home from school. The leaves crunched under her sneakers, and the air smelled of wet earth and falling leaves. That's when she heard it, a soft whimper coming from behind a tall hedge. At first, she thought it was just another stray cat or dog, but as she stepped closer, her heart sank. There, shivering and covered in mud, was a little dog, his fur matted, his eyes wide with fear. Emma knelt down slowly, speaking in a gentle voice, "Hey buddy, it's okay, I won't hurt you." The dog's tail twitched nervously. She could tell he had been lost for days, scared and alone. In that moment, Emma made a choice that would change not just her day, but the lives of everyone involved. Before we dive into this heartwarming story, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub, hit that like button, and leave a comment below sharing your own story of kindness. Your support helps us share more stories that warm the heart and remind us of the good in the world. The story begins. Emma gently coaxed the dog out from behind the hedge. He was small, maybe a little terrier mix, with a collar that was too dirty to read. The moment he stepped into the open, he froze, unsure if he could trust her. But Emma didn't give up. She sat on the damp grass and held out her hand. "I know you're scared, but I just want to help," she whispered slowly. The dog inched closer. Emma's heart raced, both with worry and hope. She could feel the little dog's trembling body against hers as she wrapped him in her jacket. "Don't worry," she murmured. "We'll figure this out." Emma didn't have much experience with lost animals, but she knew the basics. She carried him home, keeping him wrapped tightly against her chest, and made a warm bed with blankets in a quiet corner of her room. She gave him water and some scraps of her sandwich, watching as he cautiously ate. It wasn't much, but it was a start. That night, Emma stayed up late, scrolling through neighborhood lost pet pages and posting photos of the little dog. She didn't even think about how tired she was. All that mattered was finding him a safe place and, hopefully, his family. Within hours, messages started coming in, but most were false alarms. She answered each one patiently, her heart hoping that soon she would find the right person. Days passed, and Emma named him Buddy. Buddy followed her everywhere, from the kitchen to her bedroom, his little paws patting softly on the floor. Despite his past fear, he started to trust her. Emma could see it in his eyes. He finally felt safe. And even though Buddy wasn't hers, she couldn't help but love him like he was part of her family. One afternoon, while checking her messages again, Emma saw it, a message from a woman named Sarah. "I think this is my dog, Max. He ran away last week, and we've been desperate to find him. Could you please let me know?" Emma's hands shook. She knew it could be him. She immediately called Sarah, her voice both excited and nervous. "I think I have your dog," she said. "Can you come by and see?" The next day, Sarah arrived, tears already in her eyes. She was in her early 30s, carrying a sense of desperation and worry that Emma instantly recognized. When she saw Buddy, Max, her face lit up, and she ran toward him. Buddy froze for a moment, and then, as if recognizing the voice he had missed for days, he leapt into Sarah's arms. The reunion was overwhelming. Sarah cried openly, and Buddy barked happily, wagging his tail like a little engine that couldn't stop. Emma stood back, watching the scene unfold. Her heart swelled with joy, but a tiny ache lingered. She had grown so attached to Buddy, and saying goodbye felt harder than she imagined. Sarah noticed Emma standing quietly in the background and smiled through her tears. "I don't even know how to thank you," she said, holding Buddy close. "You saved him. You gave him hope when he didn't know what to do." Emma shook her head, feeling the lump in her throat. "It was nothing," she said softly. "I just wanted to help." But it wasn't nothing. Emma's small act of kindness had brought an entire family back together. Max had been more than a pet. He was Sarah's companion, a source of comfort and love. Losing him had been heartbreaking, but Emma's decision to act with compassion turned despair into joy. Sarah asked Emma if she wanted to come inside for some hot chocolate. As they sat in the cozy living room, surrounded by pictures of Max and other pets, Sarah shared how much she had missed him. "He's my little buddy," she said, laughing through her tears. "I can't imagine what we would have done if we didn't find him." Emma smiled, realizing that sometimes kindness isn't about recognition or reward, it's about the simple act of helping someone in need, even when it seems small. Word of Emma's kindness spread quickly through the neighborhood. People saw her post about Buddy and how she had taken the time to care for a lost dog and reunite him with his owner. What started as a quiet, personal act turned into a reminder for the entire community that small acts of compassion have a ripple effect. Suddenly, neighbors who rarely spoke were sharing stories of kindness, helping each other, and looking out for those who were struggling, human or animal alike. Emma didn't consider herself a hero. She was just a teenager who saw a creature in need and chose to help. But in the days and weeks that followed, she realized something powerful: kindness has a way of coming back to you. Seeing Max safe in Sarah's arms, hearing the laughter and relief in Sarah's voice, and witnessing the joy that one small act could bring, it changed Emma. It made her believe in the goodness of people, in the importance of compassion, and in the way small choices can make a huge difference. Months later, Emma and Sarah stayed in touch. They would meet at the park, and Buddy, now fully back to his energetic, playful self, would run between them, wagging his tail like a living reminder of the day a stranger became a hero. Emma learned about patience, empathy, and the quiet strength it takes to care for others, even when it feels inconvenient or uncertain. She also realized that kindness doesn't always have to be dramatic or public. Sometimes, it's as simple as kneeling down to comfort a scared dog, sending a message to a worried owner, or taking a few minutes out of your day to make someone's life a little brighter. Emma's story also inspired her friends at school. They began noticing little acts of kindness around them, helping a classmate with homework, picking up litter, or even just smiling at someone who seemed lonely. The ripple effect that started with one lost dog continued to grow, showing how one compassionate choice can spark many more. And the most incredible part? Emma realized that kindness doesn't just help others, it changes you too. It makes your heart bigger, your mind calmer, and your spirit lighter. That chilly autumn day, when she found Buddy behind the hedge, she had no idea the impact she would make. But in choosing to act with care and courage, she discovered something we all need to remember: that a little bit of kindness can go a long, long way. Conclusion: Emma's story is a simple reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can change lives, sometimes in ways we can't even imagine. Helping a lost dog led to a joyous reunion, a grateful family, and a community inspired to act with compassion. Kindness is contagious. It spreads from one person to another, lighting up hearts and creating connections that matter more than anything else. So the next time you see someone, or even a little creature, in need, remember Emma and Buddy. Take a moment, lend a hand, offer a smile, and watch the magic unfold. You might not know it at the time, but your kindness could be the spark that changes someone's entire world. And if you take one thing away from this story, let it be this: the world becomes a better place when we care for each other, even in small ways. One act of kindness can break barriers, heal hearts, and remind us all that love and compassion are worth every second. So go out there, be kind, and never underestimate the power of a simple act. You never know whose life you might change or whose heart you might touch.